Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Map shows the parts of the world where assisted dying is legal. The Isle of Man has become the latest part of the world to back the legalization of assisted dying, after a bill passed both branches of the island's legislature. People who have lived on the island for 5 years or more, have a terminal illness with a prognosis of 12 months or less, and who have a settled intention to die will be eligible. A formal signing will take place before the bill is sent for royal assent, the final step before it becomes law. It comes 4 months after British MPs took the historic step towards legalizing assisted dying in England and Wales. A majority of 330 voted in favor of a bill that would give people with fewer than 6 months to live the right to request and be offered help to die. A total of 275 MPs voted against the change, which is unlikely to come into effect for another 3 years as it must pass through several more hurdles. Assisted dying is already legal in several countries across the world, with Switzerland the first nation to introduce the right as far back as 1942. It wasn't until 1997 that other countries, namely Colombia and Luxembourg, followed suit, along with the U.S. states of Vermont and Oregon. This prompted a steady stream of nations, as well as certain U.S. states and all but one Australian state, to change their laws over the next 17 years. The assisted dying rules vary in each country, with the bill for England and Wales featuring the strictest in the world, according to its supporters. Patients would need the approval of 2 doctors and a high court judge, and unlike in some countries, they must be terminally ill. You can see all the nations where assisted dying is legal in some form, and when it was introduced on our interactive map. Below, meanwhile, we've taken a closer look at some of these countries and how the laws work there. Switzerland. Switzerland legalized assisted dying in 1942 on the condition the motive is not selfish, making it the first country in the world to permit the practice. Doctors can prescribe drugs and administer them or hand them over for self-administration. A number of Swiss organizations, such as Dignitas, offer their services to foreign nationals. United States. Medical aid in dying, also known as physician-assisted dying, is legal in 10 states. California, Colorado, Hawaii, Montana, Maine, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington, plus the District of Columbia. Oregon was the first state to legalize it under a law which came into effect in 1997. It allows mentally competent patients who are terminally ill and with less than 6 months to live to ask for life-ending medication. People from outside Oregon may travel to the state to take advantage of the law. Are you for or against the assisted dying bill? Vote in Metro's poll. Netherlands. The Termination of Life on Request and Assisted Suicide Review Procedures Act came into effect in 2002. A doctor is immune from punishment for euthanasia and assisted suicide, where patients are experiencing unbearable suffering with no prospect of improvement. Minors can request euthanasia from the age of 12, but require parental permission before the age of 16. Belgium. Belgium legalized medically assisted dying in 2002 for the terminally ill and for people experiencing unbearable suffering, which includes patients with psychiatric conditions. Since 2014, those under the age of 18 who are terminally ill are covered by the law as long as they have parental permission. Canada. Canada introduced medical assistance in dying in 2016 for those whose death was deemed to be reasonably foreseeable. 5 years later, the law was extended to permit people with a grievous and irremediable medical condition to request assisted dying. The country has delayed, until 2027, a plan to extend medical assistance in dying to include those with a mental illness. Australia. Voluntary assisted dying for the terminally ill or those with a condition that is causing intolerable suffering is legal in all Australian states apart from the Northern Territory. after being introduced first in Victoria in 2019. Doctors can prescribe medication for self-administration or administer them where required. Spain. Spain approved a law in 2021 which allows euthanasia and medically assisted suicide for people with incurable or debilitating diseases who want to end their life. Get in touch with our news team by emailing us at webnews@metro.co.uk. For more stories like this, check our news page. Era. More, Silent Hill F has not been banned in Australia despite what website says. Era. More, list of viruses that pose biggest threat to public health released. Era. More, plane forced to turn around after 1,000 miles because pilot forgot their passport. Stay on top of the headlines with daily email updates. This site is protected by Ray CAPTCHA and the Google privacy policy and terms of service apply. Your information will be used in line with our privacy policy.